Hello there, Frisbee fam, and welcome back to OTB TV coverage of the World Championships. This is the PDGA Pro World Championships presented by Grip 6 to be exact. And we are out in Ogden, Utah for day 3. And this is commentary. I'm Greg Sloan, and I'm happy to be joined by Zoe AnDyke. Hi, Zoe.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me on. I'm so thankful that OTB was here to cover the chase card for the front nine and back nine here at the fort. We've got some really great players, huge skill sets, and a really tough course.
If you haven't done so yet, make sure you go check out the front nine here of round 3. We've got Jessica Weese, Heather Young, Ella Hansen, and Maria Oliva. So far, there's been some good action, but it's tough to score out here at the fort, Zoe.
It is. You know, it's about the player being at the top of their skill set. The player's done the homework for the course. They've chosen their lines. And then it's about the execution. On top of all that, you must be confident. You can't go into any shot hoping, worrying, or scared of anything. You have to be fully committed and very excited for anything that's to come your way here at the fort.
And let's jump over to the GK Pro drone preview of hole 10. As you can see, there's OB water here early, which doesn't really come into play for our field today. Players are going to push out to this right side fairway to get into position to pass through the triple Mando, which protects the green. It played as the 7th most difficult hole on the day. It's 598 feet, Zoe.
Yeah, and you know, this is an interesting hole. Par 4 is definitely worthy par, but most players I've ever talked to have never seen a triple Mando to enter the green. So you definitely have to break this hole down. Certainly making it past this early water and skipping, missing that tree on the right-hand side. Maria's drive is great, but as you can see there, huge bounce, it hyzers out, and it is not in the ideal place. You want to stay out to the right. Heather Young here with the left-hand advantage, hoping her disc will hyzer out to that spot that I'm talking about, but the road is really the only great place to be in order to attack that triple Mando. Here we have Ella Hansen. She's got one of her flippy DD3 distance drivers here, hoping to get some of that right-hand action. She's getting a lot of it here.
Wow, really pushing up the right side fairway, but that should be a good position to attack the mandatory from.
Yeah, that's a great shot.
Yeah,
Jessica Weese to round out the park.
Hole 10, somewhat of a unique hole to the fort. Not only are the players experiencing a little more winds than they have up to this point, but again, exposure from the sun, although not blazing hot here on day 3. And as you mentioned with the skips, a little bit of a combination of surfaces between the hard ground and that more of that pulpy, mulchy floor. What was it like to play on that surface throughout the fort, Zoe?
Well, you know, on most disc golf courses, we can guess what the skip factor is going to be like. Darn.
Oh, first
tough
available
second shot
there for Maria.
Oh
No. Never like to see that.
And as you can see, she just walked right up to her disc. She was already in a mindset where she was ready to execute that shot and just hustles right up to do so. Tough break there on the second, but her third shot gets her in good position. Ella here throwing a spike hyzer to enter the triple Mando. And she's right at the mouth. That's going to be doable for the par.
She got a nice soft play off of that mulch. Jessica pushing it out again, attacking that line, and she's to find herself right next to that drop zone where you'll be if you do miss this triple.
Good place to be either way. Heather's inside of there, catching an early tree, but I believe that's just outside of the circle, if not on circle's edge. Maria Oliva from outside of circle 2 giving it a bid.
Absolutely. Nice effort there. Jess, again, just a few feet to the right, but you see how dramatically it affects your angle because you really have to play the windows offered to you by these guardian trees.
Ella gives herself a bid, just a little high and a little left there, but no problem, however, to tap in the par. Heather had to go around those trees.
Exactly. Nothing easy here, even on the green. Maria is in for her bogey.
And as we watch these players tap out, I'll go back to that question you're asking about the footing and the stance on these different surfaces. I believe they brought 1,000+ truckloads of sand, gravel, mulch, you name it. We are playing on a really soft but yet really thick surface, so it's extremely difficult for players to depend on a skip or a bounce of any kind.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just makes it really even that much more challenging.
Indeed. And here we see hole 11. Shout out again to GK Pro for the drone flyover. Make sure you check out GK Pro's coverage of the World Championships along with the OTB skins matches. They do such a great job. Thanks to those guys for providing this footage. It's 368 feet. It played more than a half a stroke over par, Zoe. 8th most difficult on the day.
I love watching Ella's tee shot here. Although we have a different tee pad than the MPOs, Ella is taking that MPO, if you will, line up and over the trees. You don't see almost any other player taking that line except for it looks like Jessica's lining it up. That very few FPO players are trying to go up and over. Most of the FPO players are trying to go up the middle and hyzer out because this is such a guarded green. And I actually really like Jess's Annie attack or approach there.
Mm-hmm.
She finds herself in a pretty decent spot, but still the birdie is not within reach there. Oh, and Maria going up and over. This is a full card of super powerful throwers.
Exactly. Interesting to see that line come into play. On day one, we saw Haley King pipe this one, actually get in position for her birdie, the only birdie on day one. She took the center Annie line, whereas Ella just went up and around everything. She actually found herself over by the tee pad for the next hole.
Heather Young taking that center line a little more regularly, what we're seeing out of most of the FPO field. As you can see, though, there's a couple of early like bunkers, natural bunkers, if you will, and making it tough, but she's still powering through with a run up and trying to get all the way in there. And she's actually deep of the pin. That's not a place you see very many players get to. So that was a good upshot.
Yeah, really incredible to avoid all of those trees as it ended up sailing past circle one. And I believe Ella will get up to a position for a look.
Wow. Maria having that open look, but still yet throwing a putter. That was like a semi-bid, semi-upshot. It was pretty great.
Yeah, definitely looking to get her round jump started, playing aggressively.
Now, this is going to be tough for Heather. She's got some obstruction and a low ceiling. Oh, just left.
Ooh, she hits
Right.
her window just a little bit off. And I believe Ella is going to have a similar putt to line up. Again, these skinny trees kind of dictating the path towards the basket. Ooh, it's just
a
low.
little bit low. And our FPO players are all within the confidence circle, certainly. But as you can see, Heather has to step out just because those four little trees still cause obstruction.
Yeah, big or little, we've seen these little clusters of trees within circle one really make for some difficult short tester putts. Heather does well to get hers to go in.
And Maria lining up her par putt.
Yeah, she really played this hole well. Right up the middle, great upshot, gave it a chance for two, and she's in there for a confident par.
And Jessica also here for her par putt, getting herself comfortable and in position.
Yeah, really nice to see the routine and the discipline Jessica Weese's game. She's very consistent, and that's what you need to compete here at the World Championships.
It's a little tap in here for Ella Hansen, and we are done with this hole and moving right on as soon as we tie a shoe.
I know, you got to have those fundamentals covered. Here we go, GK Pro, drone flyover, hole 12, here at the fort. Now this is a sort of a tricky hole. You've got this right side fence, which marks your OB on the right side, natural hazard on the left. You don't want to get hung up on the left. Players are aiming for that stump, which the drone just avoided, getting up to this initial landing zone unless somehow they can power through all the way to the green. That's a very hefty throw at 419 feet. So definitely looking to get to that initial landing zone off the tee.
And you can see Jess kind of with a little bit of body English leaning into her shot. Beautiful. She pipes past the signature broken tree, and anything past that tree is what we all consider great. So, and oh darn, Maria getting just a little hung up as I mentioned that tree beforehand. So she's gonna have a hugely obstructed second shot. Ella.
It's always a game of inches, and especially out here at the fort, as you can see the difference for Ella and Maria's drives there. Ella kind of caught up on the right side.
Yeah, she got an unfortunate kick behind that natural little bunker of trees. And I think Heather
is the lefty toss. Yeah, hung up a little bit early with the tree kick, but she's right in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say is sometimes when you get hung up early, it's going to provide some crazy more open fairway path, which is what Heather got there. Maria checking her surroundings and looking for the window.
Looking to go up and over. Yeah, on this initial first half of the hole, you can kind of use their ceiling a little bit more, but as we approach the green, definitely the trees get tighter and your windows get smaller.
Wow, sweet. That was a tough stance. Definitely taking from all of the power that Ella could have put into that sidearm, but she gets through her tiny little window there and gets herself, I think, just outside of her at circle 2.
Jessica testing this left side and catches a tree at the end, but she's just outside circle 1 for her 3 look.
Maria is excited for that open opportunity at the jump putt, and you can see her smiling. It was a little bit scary for the landing of the jump, but she's in good shape.
Oh, and there's Ella's bid.
Yeah.
Just off that last little piece of the cage, pops up and out, but a good bid there from Hansen.
Very good bid. All right, Heather in circle 2, giving it a jump. Lots of Annie. That was a good looking stroke, just lacked a little bit of height there, but she's parked for her tap in.
Again, at 419 feet, players are definitely looking to get in position for 3. And speaking of which, right on cue, Jessica throws it in. Great putt there from Weese.
I love that kind of like hairpin hyzer putt that she's got. She knew it was going in the whole way too. You can depend on that. Good putt there for Maria. She's done with it. And again, a tap in for Heather. Same thing here for Ella. Maybe not what they all wanted out of this hole. Jess is certainly pretty stoked to walk away with that par. That's a tough par to get.
And we are off to hole 13. And I feel like at this point, we've kind of gotten to the top of the mountain here at the fort. And from here on out, the momentum starts to build as we move towards those finishing holes. But first we need hole 13. It's 215 feet. Played as the 3rd easiest hole here on day 3. We saw a smattering of birdies, a lot of pars, Let's see what our card can come up with here on hole 13.
Jessica Weese lining up the kind of the higher sky sidearm. There's a lot of different routes to the basket. You just have to choose, and you can choose almost any speed to get to this 215-foot basket here. Well, I love seeing the variety on this card. We're seeing two different plays already, both taking the higher route. Oof, but unfortunately, I think Maria might have found.
Unfortunately, yeah, there is a creek on the right side, and that creek actually really comes into play on your putt. But off of the tee, Oliva gets a little bit right and gets an unfortunate roll into the OB.
And although Ella got hung up there, she's on the good side of the fairway / green. You can see she put quite a bit of dramatic angle onto her sidearm. But check this out. Heather Young rounding out the card here. She's lining up, I'm believing, yeah, that's a hammer shot or overhand, depending on what you want to call it. You don't really see players, especially in the FPO field, throwing an overhand. And look at where that gets her. Position.
Look at the skill from Heather Young. She's way up there in circle one, just outside the bullseye for her to look, as we see Maria take her putt from the drop zone.
And Ella is just laying that one up. She doesn't want to mess around with that creek behind the basket, so she wants to take her 3 and get out.
Yeah, didn't like the look of the 60-foot elevated death putt there.
And
but Jessica likes the look of that, and we've got back-to-back birdies, I believe, for Jessica Weese.
Yeah, and she's stoked. She just saw herself make, another putt similar distance, or I guess it was a lot further in the last one, but also hanging her putt way up high and just smashing in those chains. Jess is confident, and she's had a couple of really good holes in a row here. She will maintain the top of the tee box. Watch our other players tap out here. Par for Ella. Unfortunate bogey there for Maria, but also, I want to point out that Maria was minimizing the damage there from the drop zone. If you overcook that putt trying to go for it from the drop zone, you could find yourself an OB again. So I definitely commend the player when they're making a smart decision like that. Moving on.
Absolutely. We go to hole 14. It's another par 4. It's on the longer side, 652 feet. It played as the most difficult hole here on day 3. Let's see how these players attack it.
Look at this. I mean, even just from the drone fly through, it's like, whoa, I'm going through all this stuff. I'm going over the creek. I'm still going through trees. Oh, and now we're finally at the basket.
Yes, there's a disc golf basket somewhere up there. Jessica coming off the 2 birdies. She's 2 down here on the back 9 so far. A little bit maybe high here, but she finds a window and pushes well into the landing zone. She should be in good shape to have a couple options from that position.
And Heather, being left-handed, choosing the sidearm play, keeping it low underneath the ceiling, and getting some crazy ground action, but she's in good position there.
Yeah, she didn't get the distance of Jessica, but she probably will have a few more options on her second shot. Ooh, you see Ella winding up. And
wow.
Look at this mash. That's me on catch cam, and I feel like I was acting as a good target for that one. I was pretty confident it wasn't going to hit me, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad it didn't, because that thing was zooming.
Yes. Ella with so much power. Darn, and Maria, I don't know if you guys can tell from the camera angle, but there is a creek OB there, and unfortunately Maria's disc flipped her towards it, so she had a really tough stance there for her second shot.
Yeah, we definitely saw both sides of the FPO field and the MPO field battling with that right side creek all throughout the week, and unfortunately Maria found herself over there after her tee shot. Heather Young plays up again to a safe spot up there where she'll have a couple windows to attack the next portion of the fairway.
Wow. And even though that drive was great, that was a tough shot for Jessica. You guys could see that kind of like diagonally growing tree that was just in front of her. She had to stay below, but she still had to give the disc plenty of nose up and height to hyzer high enough around that OB Creek and corner, and she did. Ella way
Incredible
up
hyzer
there.
from Jessica, and I think Ella liked the look of that line because she basically threw the same angle and had an excellent result as she kicks off the backstop and rolls back for her birdie look.
Yeah, that's incredible. Not very many females are in the circle that close to the basket for the birdie. That was impressive skill and distance and just amazing execution by Ella Hansen here.
Yeah, our card is attacking this hole in different ways, but so far, taking strokes on the field, which recorded 70% a bogey or worse.
Maria gets the jump putt, obstructed footing, but she's right there. That's exactly where you want to be if you're not in. And she's going to have a pretty stress-free par. Wow, now look at
Again,
how Jess is lining up her body. She's got to throw kind of a Hail Mary up and over. Tough shot. It doesn't look like it's super obstructed, but those little trees really are. So great shot there for Jess.
Oh, Heather's bid.
Just off the top of the basket there. A little powerful. Nice, nice tap in there for Maria.
Save this here.
Still a tester putt at this distance, but no problem here for Heather Young. She's in. Disappointed, however, with the hole. She still made a pretty clutch putt there. And check this out for the birdie, Ella Hansen. No problem.
Awesome display from Hansen here on hole 14, as she is one of only 2 birdies on the day, along with Katrina Allen.
Wow. Impressive.
Jessica gets her par. Again, she wanted to have a little bit of a better chance for her 3. It would have been a little bit of a throw and hope on that high bid, but she's happy to get her par. When we're off to hole 15 here at the fort, you see that V-shaped tree straight off the tee. It's not a mandatory, but you're going to see a lot of our players choose to go up the middle. It's 313 feet, and it played as the 10th most difficult hole on day 3.
You can kind of see that down log there that the camera's flying over now. That is outside of the circle. So a lot of drives are losing momentum and speed and landing short of that log, not giving a very easy bid for the birdie. So all of the players, no matter how they approach this hole, are trying to get past that down log and get themselves into the circle.
Yeah, it takes a low, powerful shot that needs to push forward, and I think we've got a nice offering here from Jessica. Wants to get over that log, avoid the catch cam, which she does, and she's in good position there for the putt. Great shot from Jessica off the tee. Height critical here for the players. Avoiding the canopy, but also avoiding that log as Zoe was describing.
Heather's pretty far off to the right there, but I believe she'll have a pretty open look at the pin. Maria right up the middle. Whoa, crazy
Gets to skip over the log, and then kisses and flares just outside of circle 1. Great drive there from Oliva.
Yeah, I think it's pin high pretty much. So she's got a chance at a little jump putt or power putt. Heather giving it a bid and landing safely.
She was lucky to penetrate a little bit deeper into these woods. Ella just off there. As we see Maria lining up her 2 bid.
Yes.
Oh, and it's in the bucket.
Wow.
Nice putt there from Oliva.
And that's kind of a bonus birdie there for Maria. That was a sweet putt, just enough over the cage, and she's in. Oh, darn.
Oh,
Jeff
and
leaving it a little short there for her birdie.
Heather lines up her par. And she's in. So we'll watch the rest of our players tap out, and we can start to think about positioning here. Mulligan's is the next day. We've got some tricky holes coming up. What's going through a player's mind here as we cross the midway point of the tournament?
Well, hopefully everybody on this card is keeping all of their concentration on the next hole, just the very next shot. There's a lot of pressure that's built up for every single player in the field, no doubt, as we're rounding out to 3 of the toughest finishing holes right before the 4th round. And yes, the 4th round upon the completion is the cut line. And only players in the top 40% of the field are going to make it to the 5th round. So coming into these last 3 holes, the pressure is the highest it could possibly be for any of the players. Gotta stay confident.
And the highest we could be here at the fort is on the tee pad of hole 16, looking down towards the water. It's an island green, 319 feet, and it played at the 5th most difficult hole on the day. And
here in Utah, they really like their island greens. This is top of the line. I love the professional skill that it takes to get into that 30-foot circle and make it land and stick. That's tough. Look at all the ground action on Jessica's disc right there. I mean, the shot looked perfect, but no, she gets the red flag.
It somehow caught the inside edge of that grip 6 wall, caught an edge, and rolled out left side OB, so she will proceed to the drop zone. This looks like a good stroke from Heather. Well, go in the basket. Wow.
Oh.
And there you see, it goes from glory to agony, just like that at the fort. Looked like a possible throw-in, and instead she'll be proceeding to the drop zone.
And check out this drop zone putt. It is well into circle 2 and much, much farther than it looks. We only saw a couple of players in the entire weekend, both fields, make this drop zone putt. And I got a shout out to Paige Pierce. She definitely made it in round 1. And, you're going to have to watch and check out all of the coverage from GK Pro on that one. But this is a tough drop zone putt. You got to give it more height and way more spin than you would even imagine. I even heard the men saying that. So easy to come up short here.
And as you can see, the wind also playing a factor as we see those flags blowing in the right to left off of the water. We'll see how the lefty attacks it here as Heather lines up her putt.
Plenty of height.
Oh, let's get down. And again, she's got to be frustrated here.
Yep. Strong side there. And Maria tapping in. All of our players looking to tap in their bogeys here. Let's see how Heather does. Yes. Even though it's a bogey.
Certainly not
so important.
70% of the field bogeyed or worse here on hole 16. We had a birdie rate of 16%. Here are the tap outs. As we move along to hole 17, we'll see Ella take care of the details.
Yeah, moving into hole 17, this is such a tough hole here.
2 par 4s, 17 and 18. Hole 17 played as a quarter stroke above par. It's the 13th most difficult, so this one's still attackable. 490 feet. We had a birdie rate of 14% for the FPO. Players are looking to get to this drop zone, landing area, and then proceed on their second shot to a very heavily protected green, which again, there's some OB on top of the house there, but everything else around it is safe.
Maria here, full power distance driver, gives it plenty of turnover action. And it's so hard. That drive looked amazing, but I think got clipped down a little earlier than what she was expecting.
Yeah, ended up pushing a little bit left onto that left side fairway. Ella extending a little farther, but will have a similar lie just on the other side of that fallen tree.
Jessica Weese choosing one of her flippier distance drivers and got some of the flip up, but then hyzers out. Dang,
Good
in a
power there from
really
Jess. As
rough.
she finds herself in an interesting part of the fairway there, the Grip 6 trailers, or at least the sponsorship flags on those trailers. Heather does well to get up to the very center of the fairway. Let's see how she attacks with her second shot.
I love the angle she
Flexing.
put on that. Oof.
Yeah, flexing anti-release there from the lefty, and she's just outside circle 1. Nicely done there from Heather.
Tough footing here for Maria. She's having to straddle that log, standstill throw. Needed lots of power and put as much as she could on it. Yeah.
She had to hit a very early window there on her release, and she pushes up to circle 2, I believe. Again, obstructed positioning here for Hansen. Oh, it's a great shot.
Great camera angles there to show the difficulty of that shot. And she's up there. Still going to be tough. But what is Jessica going to do? She's trying to turn over a forehand. Oh, look at the... She just falls with that log. That was just not what a player wants right now. You know, I mean, she's trying to stay strong through the round.
Yeah, really awkward footing over there by those trailers. Caddy Jim Inman coming in for the assist. Shout out, Jim. Oh, and Jessica gathers herself. But at that point, very difficult. I'm sure she was shook up just a little bit.
Yeah. Both Maria and Jess giving it a run and not quite able to capitalize. Oh, Heather as well, at least drawing some metal off the cage, but still not in. Ella's got an open putt here.
Right.
And
oh my, and she gets the birdie. Unbelievable execution from Hansen here. She was on the left side, managed to get her approach shot all the way up to the back of the disc golf store here at the fort and made a high pressure putt.
That was huge. This is a tough birdie for anyone in our field, and Ella scrambled all the way up and still got the birdie. That was impressive.
That gets her back to even on the back 9 as we see Maria putt out for her par. And Jessica really wanted that 3 after the drive, but she took the tumble, couldn't quite get the birdie to go in, and she'll look to tap out her 4.
Although she's disappointed.
Nice.
That was, that was a good putt for Jess, and she's ready to move on to hole 18 there.
And again, kind of a ho-hum par there for Heather, but you're definitely happy with the par here on hole 17 as you look to finish up your round here at the fort.
Super tough par 4. Love the flyover view.
Hole 18.
Okay.
Third most difficult on the day, 578 feet. Players will need to carry the water 220 feet off the tee, avoid those guardian trees on the other side, enter into the landing zone, and then deal with this keyhole-shaped fairway and green heading towards the basket.
Super tight fairway. Very, very tough hole. Everybody's given the knuckles. Good round. Great to play with you. This has been a pretty spectacular card. Great energy. Nobody's really had the round that they were dreaming of, but lots of ups and downs here at the fort, and they're just looking to finish solid. Ella has so much power. Look at that.
Look at that. That's got to be pushing 400 feet there off of the tee. She misses all of those trees, and she's past the road, actually. Great shot there from Ella.
Maria also had power, but
nice stroke.
Unfortunate tree kick there.
Exactly, Zoe. You took the words right out of my mouth. Here comes Jessica. She's playing the forehand line. Again, looking for a left to right skip, wanting to avoid those trees. There is OB on the left side if you end up hydering too hard for a right-hand backhand shot. Here comes Heather.
Hyzer over the water there and stays clear of the out of bounds on the right-hand side. So she's in an all right position to put herself up there at the corner. Wow.
Maria playing up to that mandatory at the corner. Nice shot there from Oliva.
Pretty routine upshot here for Heather with the lefty. And she's also just short of the Mando, but in fine position.
Yeah, she settled into a nice groove here on the back nine. Here comes Jessica, second shot. Testing the fairway, and she's safe.
Yeah.
Nice shot from Jess.
Yeah, she broke off a little more than I would have guessed there. Ella, I was totally guessing was going to be going for this. She's hoping and leaning, but hyzering out to OB.
We were anticipating her attacking the green, and that mid-range was just a little bit nose up, stalled, and couldn't fight back inbounds. Here comes Heather. She, again, dealing with the mandatory, but it's an excellent shot from Young, and she is up into circle one.
Yes. Look how far up Jessica got her second shot. So she was definitely being aggressive. She didn't want a whole lot of work to do, and that is exactly what the notes must have said for Weese. She's next to the basket.
Ella, again, maybe a little frustrated playing from her OB mark. Definitely didn't want to card a bogey here on hole 18. Maria with a little bit of a bid there.
Yeah, and she's got a pretty powerful jump putt, so she left herself right under the basket. Great place to be.
Heather wants this. As you can see, those bleachers in the background start to fill up with a gallery. Shout out to the fans who came out all week and showed their support. Really appreciated seeing them out there. Great energy all week from the fans in Utah as Heather just pushes a little bit left on the par attempt. You can see the frustration as she walks off.
It's a tough way to finish. And Ella really needs this putt. This is for the bogey. And she cards it. Yeah, she's stoked because with that out of bounds shot, that created a lot more kind of sketchy trouble for her as she approached the basket. So very clutch putt. Yeah, Jess making easy work. Yes. And just tapping out for Heather Young and Maria Oliva. Gotta hand it to these ladies. This is such a tough course. If you guys haven't noticed already, the fort is made for the highest stamina of any player. Gotta have sharpened skills. But again, like I mentioned all throughout the first half of this, confidence is the absolute key to the fort.
Absolutely. We are over the hump here on day 3 at the fort. 3 rounds in, 2 rounds to go. Ella Hansen with the hot round on our coverage of +2, carding 4 birdies after 6 bogeys. We had Jessica Weese at +3, Heather Young +6, and Maria Oliva at +7. Zoe, any parting thoughts here at the end of day 3?
I'm just thinking about mulligans now, and I'm wishing good luck to all of our FPO players. Make sure to join us for the coverage. We want to give a huge shout out to OTB for covering the chase card. We're stoked that GK is here to cover the FPOs and provide our flyovers. And thank you to all of the volunteers and fans. Join us for the action tomorrow.
Very excited to bring this to you on OTB TV. Make sure you go back and check out the front 9 with Zoe. Zoe, thanks for being here. This is Greggy Biscuits signing off. Stay tuned for great action from the PDGA Professional World Championships from Ogden, Utah on OTB TV.
Love getting outside and challenging yourself to become better? How about spending time with family and friends, or just marveling at the pure joy of flight? Then you've come to the right place at the right time. Join the PDGA.